Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2023. It is so fantastic to go and be with you all here today. Now, I will go and say first and foremost that we have had a slight change in the hosting arrangements for tonight. Be it that somebody is still on vacation. So it is my pleasure and absolute honor to go and be starting, the last few of these presentations, for the new year. But before we go and move anywhere closer within this presentation, ladies and gentlemen, put some pluses in the chat if you can see me correctly, if you can hear me correctly. I know, Tom, I knew that was going to come. There's just plus spam all throughout the chat box. But I want to go and engage with you. One question before we get the whole game on the road, the whole year on the road, let's be honest, right? So my question to you is, who here is so pumped for what 2023 actually has to offer? This is amazing. I think that we've gone and counted, well, I can count probably about half a dozen of all the work that we've gone and put through over the last few years, really starting to go and bear fruits. We've planted the seeds, we've watered, we've gone and nurtured, and today is no different. For anyone who's gone and heard of the news, these sort of presentations are going to be wrapping up very closely within the next couple of weeks. So let's jump on to the next slide and get the show on the road. And let's do a really fast, nice, brief recap to get you guys G'd up for what week this is, which is basically all about FNT and GUP. Sound good? I want to see big reactions, guys. I've been missing the fire emojis. I've been missing the love hearts. I've been missing the fireworks and the rocket ships. Make sure that you guys are spamming. Share this amongst everyone. Yep, there we go. Now they're coming through. Fantastic. So for those people who may not know who I am, my name is Aidan Ward. I'm one of the representatives for the local leaders here in Australia. But probably more importantly, I was the former project manager of Global Unit Pay, hence why I'm here with you today, and also the Oceania representative for Global Unit Pay, which is coming close to the end, really. So we've got a bit of a somber moment. Next slide, please. So just to go and recap, basically the way that we like to go and structure these presentations, whether it's Global Unit Pay and the FNT world ecosystem, or just FNT itself, we have to go and ask three main questions. And this is throughout, I suppose, anytime that you're delivering a pitch or a presentation, or trying to go and share an idea, to go and share, the big purpose behind the full scene. So you're not just doing the small picture, which is in the foreground, but also the background, the big picture, the whole thing as a masterpiece in and of itself. So we're going to go and start off with the why of this whole ecosystem that we know as FNT World and Global Unit Pay. We're going to walk through a little bit of the hows as well, specifically for GUP, with a bit more of a focus on FNT over the next couple of days, and also the what. Because, ladies and gentlemen, who here can go and tell me the importance of what Global Unit Pay is within our ecosystem? Can anyone tell me? Well, yeah, Tom, kind of. It's our on-ramp and it's also our off-ramp as well. Well, for those people who are in the EU, you guys go and have access to the cards, but for everywhere else, we can actually go and top up other cryptocurrency wallets, and we can really go and benefit. This is really the glue amongst all of our projects and anything that we're doing within the back office. We're able to go and invest through Global Unit Pay. The other one is that you will, you can also go and withdraw the units and the commissions and the bonuses that you get from actually working the MLCI business plan and business niche. Next slide, please. So basically, the whole thing with global unit pay really comes around with big problems within the market, whether you're looking at FinTech, whether you're looking at banking, whether you're looking at traditional financial services, whether you're looking at anything to do with cryptocurrency. Over the last few years, a lot has changed, and a lot is still continuing to go and change. We can go and see with our most recent project that we are really fanning the flames through, and what sort of world and what sort of problems they're actually solving, to go and make the whole cryptosphere a better place. So the digital assets have got a little bit of security. Well, global unit pay is very, very similar in that respect. I'll tell you, from when I was working as a financial advisor, which was dealing more so within the retirement fund niche over here in Australia, but you're exposed to different elements of financial services and how the financial systems actually go and work when you are in a financial service or as a financial advisor. One of the big things that goes and scares me is the fractional reserve element, right? And for anyone who's gone and spoken to me about the dangers of fractional reserve, this is basically where inflation, it's a big part as to why inflation has gone and gotten to be so big. Now, fractional reserve is basically to go and say that if you deposit $1,000 into your bank, well, they can go and loan out 900 of that $1,000 to other people and then receive interest and a profit based on those loans. And of course, that goes and creates a lot of dramas within the financial systems. And why would I be bringing that up? Well, global unit pay is full custodian, which means that if you deposit 1,000 euros or 1,000 USD into global unit pay, that money isn't moved and it isn't repurposed. It is there. So we have a lot more of an honest sort of, what's the word for it? A sense of procedure. What you deposit is yours, and it's not our right to go and repurpose it in order to go and gain a profit. Maybe one day, but right now, that's not what we are all about. Also, another one, high rates and fees. If anyone can go and remember the days when we were using other third-party providers in the back office, this is about maybe 2018, 2019, even early 2020, we had some fees upwards of about 15%. That's nuts. And that's coming from more of a company side of things, not from a consumer side of things, but from for the company, that's what we were having to go and pay, up to 15%. It's nuts, right? And so for global unit pay over the last year and a half, we've really been able to go and dial in and reduce certain fees so that it is more user-friendly, and we can really go and really go after that mass adoption sort of goal in order for global unit pay to go and be a part of everyday lives anywhere in the world, and to go and have crypto accounts that go and still match that security and that availability, plus with a whole range of other features and advantages and benefits, which we'll touch on very shortly. It really is a fuller picture as to what global unit pay's importance goes and lies in within our experience as Evorich partners. Next slide, please. So the big why, right? We believe, as part of global unit pay, that by ensuring our platform meets the international standard of security, availability, and functionality, we will have a world-class crypto fiat payment institution that ensures a thriving environment of globalized wealth empowerment without discrimination. And this is how we aim to go and do it. I've already touched on a little bit as to the real key components that you won't go and just see if you log into global unit pay. It's better so that you have a fuller understanding as to what we really do have our hands on. And as we go and expand our network, as the community grows, as more and more people around the world, be it whether they're in Evorich or whether they're not in Evorich, are actually using Global Unit Pay, these are the sort of conversations that you'll be able to go and have and really go and sell the full purpose, the big why to just any person with confidence, making sure that you know and you're able to go and deliver that value. And as co-owners, I believe that that's a responsibility and also a duty. I'm not sure about you guys. Also, I'm just seeing a few messages come through in the chat. Apologies, we still don't go and have translators for any other language other than English at this current time. Of course, in the future, there will be some solutions, but we haven't yet got to that point where we can go and open up multiple rooms. So apologies for the inconveniences, but do speak with some of your bilingual leaders. They'll be able to go and help you out. Next slide, please. So the real key components of Global Unit Pay as a surface, as a very entry-level, surface-level service, right? You have Global Unit Pay at the center, right? You can go and deposit fiat, you can withdraw fiat, and we'll go and use the Swiss flag there to go and symbolize, withdrawing to a bank, right? Or depositing from your bank as well. You can absolutely do that. From there, you can go and access cards and banking services through Global Unit Pay. You are able to go and get the IBANs. I believe that the partnerships have already been established on that for companies. And of course, for individuals down the track, that will also go and open up for possibilities as well. So we've gone and covered the south, we've covered the west side of this diagram. Let's move on to the north, the multi-currency accounts. Now, our default ones that we have so far is USD, Euro, and Swiss franc. Great, right? As we go and level up our FinTech license, we will be able to go and secure what's called a local license. And when you have a local license, you can then go and incorporate the local currency. And that, of course, will then go and drop fees as well, depending on what currency has gone and been put through and what jurisdiction also, just to go and factor that in. But of course, Valentin is the man for disclosing any of those future works after the next couple of weeks. And then finally, the OTC crypto exchange. I'm going to go and pick someone out. Tom, can you go and tell me again what OTC goes and stands for in OTC crypto exchange? I'm guessing it's a no. I had a feeling. Okay, so OTC stands for over the counter, which basically means that you don't have to go and rely on external exchanges, much like FTX. I know AAX wasn't doing too crash hot towards the end of last year. And there's going to be probably a couple more exchanges that, get closer and closer to having to file for a Chapter 11, as still the shockwaves of the FTX collapse, is still being felt within the digital sphere. So OTC basically means that I can go and buy Bitcoin, sell Bitcoin, exchange Bitcoin for Ethereum, and then go and exchange that all the way for USDT, and then to Tron, or whichever cryptocurrency has already been integrated within Global Unit Pay, with having the security and the peace of mind that I don't have to go out into shark-infested waters, so to speak, being the other crypto exchanges that aren't Unitex or anything else that we go and trust, right? Next slide, please. So the main factors about the company, and keep in mind, guys, that this sort of presentation is to arm you all with the real key components, so that someone turns around and says, why do I have to go and open up a Global Unit Pay account? And you can turn around and say, why wouldn't you go and open up a Global Unit Pay account? This is our on-ramp, this is our off-ramp, but there's so much more utility. There's so much more confidence that you would go and get through, stating that we're based in Switzerland, that we're in over 160 countries, that the number of registered users already within Global Unit Pay is over 50,000. And of course, we're inching closer and closer to that 200 milestone in terms of how many companies have actually gone and onboarded within to GUP. You can go and say with confidence that in its first year, just in 2021 alone, we were able to go and bring over $40 million through Global Unit Pay, which then went and created a profit for GUP, which was just a tick over 350,000 USD. So this is very, very exciting. And this goes and instills a lot of confidence. This goes and instills, that peace of mind in an otherwise what we'd go and effectively call a minefield, right? Because that's where the crypto industry is at the moment, is there's a lot of uncertainty, and confidence within digital assets is at an all-time low. And I'm saying from an Australian standpoint, we've gone and taken a huge hit that has gone and taken 3.5 to 4 years to actually go and build to where we were starting to really gain momentum over here in terms of cryptocurrency. And it will probably go and take a year or two just to go and start picking up our stride again, as things are shifting towards the more regulated side of things. And this is a good thing. Next slide, please. So just to go and recap anything that's that hasn't yet been discussed within Global Unit Pay today, but has been in previous presentations, right? Let's start off with the first one, banking. We all know what the FinTech license is going to go and allow us to go and have, which is our very own IBANs. But once we go and get the necessary licenses, and once we've gone and developed further, as a payment system, as a company, that is now able to go and stand on its own 2 feet and actually perform very well in a global market that is very saturated in financial services of the traditional sense, as well as the contemporary sense and the futuristic, right? We have the OTC exchange, whether that's for cryptocurrency or shifting, currencies from euro, which is used to go and top up the, the payment cards, or shifting it back to USD so that we could go and top up our back office, so that we could go and get FNT, so that we could go and get some more soulbound, so that we can go and get some more EvoCent or any other project that, goes and pops up in the future. You've always got Global Unit Pay in your back pocket. There is also an app as well, so you don't even need to use the browser. This is all from the palm of your hand, which I think is pretty cool. We've touched on the custody side of things, that whatever's deposited stays deposited and isn't shifted around for any other purpose or any other use or any other party. But the other two, right? Listing and card branding. These are very niche services, and I can go and see a lot of potential in terms of a market profit and a market opportunity with the listing side of things, and as well card branding, but for a different reason, right? If you have more and more people who are wanting to go and maybe not just invest in cryptocurrency, but they might want to go and use everything that they've gone and learned to go and build their own cryptocurrency, they would then go and have they need to go and have a place in order to list, in order to trade, in order to exchange. We've already gone and covered the dangers of crypto exchanges at the moment, but that doesn't include Global Unit Pay. Can anyone see where I'm coming from when I'm saying that the listing side of things for future crypto projects is actually a really big market opportunity because of the OTC? Ian, I know you're in there. Can you tell me why? Why is it such a huge opportunity? I know Tom can. I won't put him on the spot. Not 2 times tonight. It's very, very it's very, very simple, right? In the summertime, would you rather swim in would you rather swim in a swimming pool that you know is safe? Or would you like to go and risk yourself at the ocean where, you know, there could be sharks or there could be some creatures that could go and pose a risk to your health? Swimming pool, right? It's the exact same. More and more crypto projects are going to want to look for some safeguard places where they can go and launch their token, they can list their token without the risk of, you know, of having inflated or untruthful numbers reflecting based on what they actually held within the exchange and what they report to go and actually, you know, be holding within that platform, which is where a lot of the non-compliance side of things and a lot of the fraudulent questions have really gone and popped up with cryptocurrency. And of course, if you do have an exciting crypto project that you're launching on an otherwise very fresh Swiss payment platform that's crypto fiat, how would you like to go and offer to your holders, your main holders, your foundational investors to go and actually have access to branding cards that they can go and cash out and exchange for fiat currency that they can go and top up and go and use it to go and pay for goods and services, like all the staking rewards and all that sort of stuff. That could go and be translated into global unit pay in the future for upcoming crypto projects. This is where I see the value. Now, as a co-owner, this is very, very exciting. This is something that hasn't been done a lot within the space. And this is a huge opportunity for global unit pay to go and increase its value, which of course goes and has a huge ripple effect within our entire ecosystem, not just the community, but the whole big picture, not just for a flash in the pan, but for years to come as well. Next slide, please. So we've gone and touched on the, I suppose, the hub of, you know, what this mini ecosystem actually goes and allows. Let's touch base and do a little bit of a refresher for FNT. Sound pretty good? Yes? Fire emojis, plus signs, rocket ships, whichever you want to go and pop in. Fantastic. All right, Tom. Lovely. Next slide, please. So, give you guys a refresh, right? The tokenomics and the benefits. Total supply, 2 billion. We know this. 40% is locked under the reserve, which goes and gives FNT the liquidity in order to go and facilitate the you know, the beneficial services that's really going to go and level it up. The community is in charge as well. We have just the one platform for the daily life use, you know, and we're able to go and access, you know, real traditional financial services that you might go and see. And I'm going to speak to Australians for a minute, but say your superannuation fund app, right? Where you have got all of these sort of very niche, avant-garde sort of options and services within the app. We're going to be having very similar ones within FNT, just not retirement funds just yet, FYI. But also being able to marry the crypto fiat merged platform all in the one place using FNT as the fuel to go and keep the whole thing going, right? We've got the burning mechanism, which we understand the mechanics of it is designed to go and maintain the market cap while decreasing the amount of supply, which will then go and see an increase in the value of each FNT token, right? And of course, the token utilization in every utility, as we went and discussed. Now, guys, I have to go and iterate, okay? The pre-sale is getting very, very, very close to ending. And I'll talk a little bit more in a couple of slides in regards to the importance of it. But just to go and prick your ears up right and ready, time is getting very, very thin. Next slide, please. So I'm not going to go too much into you know, these features because we do have a dedicated webinar specifically for FNT on Thursday. So we've got the native token, the token itself. that we can go and invest in right now and get as many as we possibly can, because this is going to go and be your petrol in the tank, you know, your fuel to the fire, right? This is what goes and powers the entire ecosystem. So the more that you can go and get means that you're going to go and have more options and more benefits once the platform is fully launched at the end of the year. To go and have the own banking services, because FNT goes and partners directly with Global Unit Pay. FNT will go and have its own FinTech license, and Global Unit Pay, of course, is getting their FinTech license, which is very exciting. We've got the lending and borrowing component, the loan to value cash system, completely optional. However, if you are going to go and do it, it's a good little, I suppose, in case of emergency, break glass option, just in case life gets a little bit too hectic and you do find yourself a little bit out of pocket before the next load of income actually goes and comes in. You actually go and have that assuredness and that security that FNT has got your back, you know. And it wouldn't be a crypto fiat payment platform or crypto fiat ecosystem entirely if we didn't go and have earning and staking opportunities as well. And we've already gone and touched on the burning component, which goes and ties the whole thing really together. Next slide, please. So just in terms of the comparison, look, it has been stated that it will go and launch at 5 cents once it hits the tier 1 and tier 2 exchanges. I have a very big feeling that that might not be the case, and it might be a little bit but that's just speculation. I'm not saying I know anything, and I'm also saying that I don't know anything. So you can go and look at the value and look at the trend as to what's happened in the past and come to your own conclusions. But with it being at 5 cents, I can't see it being 5 cents for long. When you go and factor in the amount that our community has been able to go and accrue and reserve for ourselves, when you go and factor in the the contacts and the partnerships and the networks that Valentin and Alex and Mila have been able to go and forge in the last few months to go and really garner external interest, I can't see that 5 cents being at 5 cents for very long. I think that with even the burning in place, that we could go and see, you know, some good capitalization. But once again, it is just speculation, just based on what has gone and been seen on the social medias. Next slide, please. So the whitelist, it started off on the 28th of July last year, and we are going till, I believe it's the 25th of January. So there's like 8 days left. These are the updated packages. If you have gone and if you had an amazing Christmas and Santa went and bought you all the sum of disposable investment income that a man doth need, or a woman doth need, in fact, there are still some $15,000 packages. There's still time to go and arrange syndicates for future, dispersion. For those people who might still go and have a few units from doing a few network sales over the holiday break. Guys, we have got packages from the 20 units ranging all the way down. So you haven't missed out yet. Of course, what you're seeing here are the one-off whitelist packages, which leads me into the next slide. We can please just go to that, which is the installment packages. Now, there is still quite a large amount of installment packages on the back office. And please do keep in mind that after the 25th, any that hasn't actually gone and been reserved will go and be shifting over to the next lot of sales. So you still have got time to go and put in the, whatever sort of units you actually can go and afford right now. I know it's just straight after Christmas. However, if you can go and squeeze it, this could go and be a really good thing that could go in and take your portfolio from here to here in the next 12 months and beyond, of course. So if you haven't gone and secured yourself even just an installment package, do make sure that you guys are reserving that for yourselves, so that come the time that we have to go and shift the FNTs over to the next lot of sales, then that means that there's less available there, which means that we'll be able to go and reap the fruits a little bit more in 12 months' time. Next slide, please. Now, if you haven't gone and seen the white paper, I thoroughly recommend that you do so. Go and get your phones, take that QR code, either jump onto the FNT website, which is www.fntworld.io. You can just go and click the link for the white paper so that you can go and read it in your own time. But please do your own due diligence, really look at the context, maybe even go back and watch this recording so that you can go and arm yourself with all the right information to decide whether this is the sort of thing that benefits your financial plan. Next slide, please. So next step, we've already gone and touched on the first step and the second step, which is do your own due diligence and decide what your participation and what package goes and suits yourself. Please don't break your budget. Please don't go and leave yourself hung and dry over the next, X amount of weeks, because that's the last thing that we want when we go and say this. Very, very important, guys, to always be following the 8 rules of private investor. But there is a final FNT project webinar from the CEO himself, Valentin Sokolnikov, and also Alex Vermasher tomorrow at the same time, being 13 o'clock or 1 p.m. CET. Do make sure that you are going to be joining that. I'm going to be joining it as well, because there's probably going to go and be a few little nuggets here and there that I haven't even been able to go and relay to you guys, up until now. So if you do have a spare hour, do make sure that you are joining that one, so that you can go and stay up to date with all the right and valid necessary information. And of course, please do share that link with your friends, with your family, with your network, with your downline, with your neighbor, with, I don't know, the school kids, teachers, even though school hasn't yet gone back, but anyone who is in your contact list, because this is seriously something that should apply to everyone at any crypto exposure. That was the whole big mission for how FNT moved from just being a utility token for global unit pay into having its own separate company and its own separate relationship with global unit pay, because they are aiming for mass adoption for anyone from any sort of level who's just looking at cryptocurrency for the first time and wants something a bit more than just Bitcoin, or for the crypto savvy who are analyzing all white papers and thinking, wow, okay, this is a really good thing. So that's steps 1 through to 4. And then steps 5 is to, of course, join me on Thursday for the final FNT dedicated deep dive before everything's moved out of the back office. Sound pretty good? Yes? Crosses in the chat, guys, if you're all for that. We can be difficult and write the word yes, like Muggins and Tom. Awesome. Next slide, please. All right. Well, that wraps it up for today. I know that it's been a little bit different with Annette not being around, but I do want to thank you each for all of your time and all of your attention. I truly do think that 2023 is going to be our year. But I've got 6 minutes before we'll need to go and wrap this up. So if you've got any questions, guys, please do go and pop in the Q&A box. Unfortunately, I'll only be able to go and answer any questions in English. So appreciate your patience with that. Jay, how will the quantum financial system affect global unit pay? That is a fantastic question. And I'm so glad you actually did go and bring this up, because since this is recorded, This now goes and shows that, you know, there are people within our community, within our network, that are looking beyond what you're just seeing in the mainstream. And I know that there's a lot of speculation from both sides as well, but I'm not the best man to go and talk about the quantum financial system and global UniPay. Of course, the CEO in Valentin, even Mila as well, you know, both really good candidates to actually go and answer that question privately. But nonetheless, whatever goes and happens within the next 12 months and beyond, I have confidence that, you know, the guys who have gone and spent so much time building this, from just a concept into an award-winning payment system, are going to go and, you know, make sure that those bases aren't covered. That's all I'm going to go and say on that. But thank you so much for asking that question. It's a very important question. All right. Is there any questions? All right. Well, since there's not so many questions tonight, I'm going to leave you guys to the rest of your day, and I will see you same time, same place tomorrow with Alex and with Valentin, for what's set to go and be an absolute cracker of a webinar. And then I'll see you guys each on Thursday at the same time, in the same place, the same smile, and maybe even a net. So thank you so much for your time and attention, guys. Take care, and let's go 2023.